Of renal failures. Please put your hand together for them. 4 dialysis machine, 4. Put them together for Reverend Mon, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I want to welcome members of the Hospital Management Committee, Irrua Specialist Teaching Hospital. First, I want to welcome the Chairman, Medical Advisory Committee of the hospital, Dr. S.A. Okobeni. Next, I want to welcome the Acting Director of Administration, Mr. Tony Edeko. You're welcome, sir. I want to welcome Mr. Felix Obaka, Pastor Felix Obaka, Deputy Director of Finance and Accounts at the hospital. This is Eunice Zephyr, Deputy Director, Nursing Services. You're welcome, madam. Where is she? She has gone to identify with them. You're welcome. Round of applause for her. Thank you very much. Adamebo is the Managing Director of Mindcast Hotel Urumi. Sorry, Akpoma. Thank you very much for your contribution to tourism development, not only in Akpoma but the entire Edo State. You're welcome. Thank you. On our dear Hospital Management Committee, he is the Deputy Chairman, Medical Advisory Committee of the...
I want to quickly introduce one man here that has we even came to America. His name is Dr. S. Opos Ewalefo. He's here today.
May we now call on Reverend Mon Igbonosa of the Gospel Outreach Ministries, Ekpoma, for the opening prayers.
Our Father, we want to thank you for today. We want to honor you, we want to exalt you, we want to give you praise, we want to give you glory for your mighty hand and for all the wonderful works that you do in our lives. We want to thank you for this establishment. We want to thank you for the men and the women who've come all the way from America to be a blessing to what you do in this place. We commit, oh God, everything that will be done or said here today into your hand, that you will take preeminence, you will take the glory, you will take the honor in the name of the Lord Jesus. I will bless you for it. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Mon. The next item on the program is the traditional breaking of kola nuts. Traditional breaking of kola nut. I want to confer with the chairman to direct.
Man, if you want to go now, better than if my can do better than a song for my so dear, no, dear, if my can better than if you mind ever go the hair, if I do a good man, so by Yam as a young by Yam, and then a low ever bonny young. The 200 more diamond, Monday who work, somebody to buy a line to another house. Somebody will buy another look by any kind of Muhammad better than I can't show wow. Man, if you what, a cake on be for that tomorrow. Monday buy dogs cocoa now better than Nello Mammy Missy. MBC never mind me. Somebody I will be a woman. My the buy never available now. More Muja. Now who did I already I had MBC man. No, I know it is somebody of my mind.
The traditional breaking of kola nuts by His Royal Highness S.I. Obade, the Onoji of Ugbegun. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much, sir. Chairman, sir, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with the breaking of kola nuts over, we would now like to invite the chairman of this occasion, the Senator Odion Ugbesia, Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, former Minister of Solid Minerals, Senator Odion Ugbesia. Chairman, sir. A round of applause for him, please.
Professor Salman Sumba, the Chief Medical Director for Tiwokai Specialist Hospital, my brothers and sisters from America who are today making us proud, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press corps who are here. Well, it is a privilege and a surprise to be made the chairman of this occasion, which means I'm now doubling, representing Chief Tony Aneni, who incidentally is not able to come here. He has asked me to tender an unreserved apology for his inability to be here physically today. But he has asked me to say also that he is here with you in spirit, and that his prayers go with you for all that you are doing for Esaland, and specifically for what you are doing for Tiwokai Specialist Hospital. Well, let me say something as Senator John Ugbesia. I am very involved with this project. Some time ago, I mentioned it to the Chief Medical Director that something like this might happen, bearing all of unforeseen circumstances, and today it has come to fruition. I'm particularly happy, and I want to commend the efforts of these young men and women from Esaland who are resident in America for this very, very noble effort in trying to uplift this hospital and trying to give to some people one of the things they need most, that is health care. It is not easy. I have been in America. During our days, we could barely eat in America, but I'm surprised that these guys are able to eat and think of those who are at home and think of what to do for those who are at home. I want to commend you again, and I thank you. May God in His infinite mercy bless you and replenish your pockets thousandfold. I want also to say that the whole of Esaland, the whole of Esan people are proud of you. I am particularly proud of you, knowing most of you very well. I'm not at all surprised that you are doing what you are doing today. But may God bless you and reward you thousandfold. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for the chairman of this occasion, Senator Odion Ugbesia, Senator of the Federal Republic of Felix Akabwe. Round of applause for him. You are welcome. Next, I want to welcome the former Vice Chairman, Esan Central Local Government Area, Honorable Jonathan Agbi-Raymond. A round of applause for him. You are welcome, sir. Chairman, sir, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my pleasure to invite the President of ENC, Esan National Congress, based in America and Canada, Dr. Sylvester Omosun Fadal, to make his speech. The President, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. PRO, for doing such an outstanding job. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start off by commending, in the sequence that was used by the chairman, the Royal Highnesses that are here with us today. We commend you for being with us. And I truly need to recognize the Senator Elder Odion Besia, who is with us today. He's been an integral part of this process. We talked on the phone, continuously strategizing on how to make this happen. And I need to recognize the ex-executive governor of Edo State, Senator and Professor Sumba, who is here with us today. Despite the late notice we passed on to him, he's currently here with us. Also, Dr. Akpede, you've been an integral part of this project, so I commend you for being here. Most important, I need to reach out, thank you, to members of the ESA National Congress in America. So to all of you, I say thank you for being here with me. Let me explain very quickly how this whole thing came about. The ESA Congress in the USA and America and Canada is made up of associations in different states. And our goal is to continue to impact what happens in ESA land. And this is the first phase of our goals. So hopefully these equipments will be able to enhance the lives of our people and reach to the core illnesses that are being difficult to deal with today. Secondly, I need to remind you all that what the Asian people in America and Canada is doing, what the Asian people in America and Canada is doing, though humble in the beginning, is the start. On Friday, we met with the medical team, and we were advised that there are other things we could do to help enhance the lives of our people. So in that sense, we are only just starting. But let me make it clear. August 28, 1963, a young man in his early 30s challenged the American community and gave an outstanding speech called I Have a Dream. I Have a Dream speech is one of the most popular speeches in the world today by a young man who was barely 31, and that's Dr. Martin Luther King. He had a dream that regardless of our race and gender, everyone will be treated equally. So today, what is our goal? The ASEAN National Congress has a dream. With the support of people like Engineer Abolime, philanthropist Steve Oziegwe, Pastor Olubo, and the host of others that have joined us today, we are going to focus on not just enhancing medical efforts in ASEAN land, we're going to focus on reaching out to specific areas where we can save the lives of our people in this community. And I'm going to moderate my speech and keep it short. As you can tell, I love to speak. And that's probably one of the reasons that made me the president. But most important, I'm going to appeal to Irrua Specialist Hospital. And I have 5 requests for you. Number 1, when you treat the sick that comes into your specialist hospital, please, on behalf of the ENC, treat them with empathy. Number 2, the equipment we're giving to you today should be used at the Irrua Specialist Hospital and nowhere else. So I appeal to you, no matter what you do, the safety of those equipment is just as critical as the usage of the equipment. So we hope the equipment would stay here and be used here for the people we are trying to enhance their lives. Number 3, we appeal to you to stay in touch with us. The efforts and the continuous communication is what challenges the ENC in the USA and Canada to make things happen. Number 4, we ask that every member, and there's a person that walks into this hospital and uses some of these equipments, their cost should be moderated. It is very difficult to make money in Nigeria. It is very difficult for these suffering people to make money in this land. So when you treat them, rather than charging the normal price, if you are using any one of these equipments, the price should be minimal. And number 5, We are going to focus on something that is very dear to my heart, the heart of our people, and based on the information that was shared by the Board of Medical Directors. In 2010, Lassa fever is going to be our focus in America and Canada. When we get back to America and Canada, we're going to set up a project committee. I admit it, I don't know a lot about Lassa fever. I doubt if most of my members do. But for us to do something good, we will set up a project committee, we would reach out to a lot of professional doctors in America and Canada, we would explore the details and the strategies of how it works, and we will find a way to work with the Irrua Specialist Hospital and mitigate the influence of Lassa fever on our people in Eastern Land. Thank you very much.
Of Eastern Land, and to enhancing the quality of life of the people through effective healthcare delivery system. Thank you very much. He has also said that Lassa fever, a virus that is ravaging the people of Edo North, Central and Southern Senatorial District of Edo State and beyond, that this organization, ANC, will go back to the United States to work up a program of assisting in combating this heavy and deadly disease. Please put your hand together for him. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We are looking forward to more assistance, not only in this hospital, but in the entire Eastern Land. Thank you very much. The equipment that have been donated are very bulky, and so we are not able to bring them here. We want to call on members of the high table, led by the chairman, to please proceed to the equipment room, where the formal presentation will be made and inspection of the equipment. So it's my pleasure to call on the chairman, on the president of ESC, Dr. Sylvester Omosun, for that, to lead the chairman, the former executive governor of Edo State, the CMD, and members of the high table, traditional rulers, to the equipment room.
These are boxes of different assorted medical equipment. Some are consumables, and you see some of them are physical items like the beds, the wheelchairs. They are motorized wheelchairs. We have manual wheelchairs. We have ECGs and other various equipment on this box. The boxes are labeled, and whatever is labeled is the material that is inside. Like you can see, these are syringe, sodium chloride, 10 ml. Everything is inside there. And I wanted to open up this.
You can open up one.
Yeah, the ECG machine.
So that for the camera they can see. We believe you for the camera.
I want to look for the box.
If there's one that you can.
Okay, let me get. Well, I'm going to take that focus on Chairman. Okay. Chairman, please. Open it up.
So everything here, including the bed. Everything including the bed.
We can also see the motorized wheelchair. Chairman, the motorized wheelchair is over there. Examination tables.
To respond to the speeches made by the chairman and the ENC president. CMD, sir.
Chairman of the occasion, distinguished Senator Elder, I would like to at this point say, no, before then, President and members of the ASAN National Congress of America and Canada, with your permission, sir, say order protocol duly observed. It is difficult for me as an individual to express the depth of feelings that I have today. It's also difficult for me to express the depth of gratitude which the chairman and members of the board of management of Irrua Specialist Teaching Hospital had on Friday when they had preliminary inspection of the equipment and materials that had been formally handed over to the hospital today. In simple terms, I wish to say on behalf of the board of management, the staff, the students and patients of the hospital, express our profound gratitude for this very noble gesture of the ASAN Congress, National Congress of America and Canada. We are grateful, please. Irrua Specialist Teaching Hospital was established in 1993, then as a 230-bed hospital. At the time we took over this hospital in August 2005, it had become a 260-bed hospital. By the special grace of God today, it is a 375-bed hospital. As the Lord leads and makes provision for us, before the end of the year 2011, it shall by His grace become a 500-bed hospital. The hospital was particularly situated to serve Edo State, especially the people of Edo Central and Edo North senatorial districts. Aside from those senatorial districts, however, it also receives patients from Edo South senatorial district, as well as patients from the neighboring states of Kogi, Delta, Ondo, and Ekiti, amongst others. It is also notable that through a unique arrangement, it serves as a teaching hospital to the College of Medicine of Ambrose Ali University, Ekpo, through a memorandum of understanding that was signed in 2002 between the Federal Ministry of Health and Edo State government. Aside from these qualities, it is as of now the only teaching hospital, federal teaching hospital, located in rural areas. And if you remember that over 60 to 70% of our population are residents in the rural areas, then the relevance of this hospital, it is key for healthcare delivery in the country, and thereby the attainment of the much touted Millennium Development Goals will become clearer to you. Also, I should emphasize that the location of this hospital by one of the very busiest, or one of the very busy north-south highways in the country, the Benin-Abuja Expressway, suitably positions it to be a major recipient of accident victims in the country. And it is of note that even though it is one of the recipients, or it perhaps receives one of the highest caseloads of accident victims in the country, it also has one of the highest survival rates. This, we believe, is because of its location along the expressway, for which reason the evacuation time to the hospital of accident victims is one of the best, if not the best, in the country. Chairman, sir, and our friends from the US, even though you have already harped on it and identified it, I should at this point mention that Irrua Specialist Teaching Hospital is one of the 3 federal tertiary health institutions that was designated in 2002 as centers of excellence for the management and control of Lassa fever in Nigeria. I should also remark, but without fear of contradiction and fear of accusation that we are beating our chests, that this hospital is among the foremost centers in the country, if not the foremost center, in terms of the efforts at Lassa fever control and management. However, it bears noting that the laboratory diagnosis of this very much dreaded viral hemorrhagic fever was not available in the country until July 2008, when a collaborative relationship was established between this hospital and the Bernhard Nocht Institute of Tropical Medicine, Hamburg, Germany, as well as the Department of Organismic and Biological Medicine, Harvard University, US. Through the relationship, a biosafety level 3 diagnostic and research laboratory was established and commissioned in March this year by the Honorable Minister of Health, Professor Babatunde Oshotime. Since then, the utmost embarrassment we suffer as a country, wherein samples from suspected cases of Lassa fever had to be taken outside the country, and we had to wait for weeks, if not months, to know the results, has been overcome. Also since then, Chairman, I'm glad to say that this hospital has not lost a single member of staff anymore to the ravages of Lassa fever. Whereas before then, it was commonplace that we're losing several members of staff yearly. Also since then, I'm glad to say that the erstwhile very high mortality rate from Lassa fever has been reduced from over 60 to 80% to now under 15%. And that has been one of the immediate gains from the facility, which now enables diagnosis to be made within a few hours of Lassa fever being suspected in the hospital. Therefore, while acknowledging and thanking the ASA National Congress of America and Canada for us as a country and as a community and as an institution to arrive where we want to be and where we should be in terms of the control of Lassa fever in Nigeria and the West Africa sub-region. Towards this, the hospital is developing an institute of Lassa fever research and control that is, as we have said, in the lead in terms of Lassa fever research and control and management in the country. The facility, when completed, is expected to have not only a diagnostic and research laboratory, as well as a critical care unit and an isolation ward, but also training facilities, such that major gains might be made in the health education aspect, the control of Lassa fever. I am glad that you have, even before we discuss further, taken up the challenge to assist us in making further inroads into the control of this epidemic. Sir, I must let you know that already this year we have managed 121 confirmed cases of Lassa fever in the hospital. This is aside from over 500 other suspected cases of Lassa fever. As we speak now, over 18 states in the country have reported cases of Lassa fever. And if we remind ourselves that the occurrence of even one case of Lassa fever is regarded by the WHO, the World Health Organization, as an epidemic, then I'm sure we would all agree that the occurrence of hundreds of cases in one state, with several of its local governments affected, and so many states in one country alone affected, amounts to a major public health disaster, for which indeed it is not too much if the government of Edo State and indeed the government of Nigeria declares an emergency, which exactly is what it is. Mr. President, I note what you've said, the 5 conditions or conditionalities you have given. Be assured that this hospital, being as we said in the rural area, is very, very mindful of the fact that it must not put service beyond the reach of those in the community. For that reason already, For that reason already, this hospital has one of the lowest charges for all its services in Edo State, if not in Nigeria. Once again, before I talk too long, sir, or too much, we are very grateful for what you have done today. And as you've promised, we look forward to more assistance, where you are assured that we will be in very regular and frequent communication with you. Even though I'm not giving the vote of thanks, I want to thank the chairman for honoring us today, to thank to witness such an occasion, to also thank our traditional role in great numbers, thank the ESA National Congress, thank all our staff and every other person who has come to grace to this occasion, by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
Put your hands together for the Chief Medical Director. He has sort of enlightened the audience about the ravages caused by Lassa fever and spoke of his hospital's determination to contribute immensely to the eradication of this disease. He also called for assistance from other non-governmental agencies, the state government, the local and federal, to also help the hospital in bringing equipment that will lead to diagnosis and treatment of the disease. Thank you very much, Mr. CM. A round of applause for him. He has also expressed his gratitude to ENC, ESA National Congress, for donating equipment of such magnitude worth 48 million naira to this hospital. Round of applause for CMD. Thank you very much, sir. Why did CMD? The presence of the two glaciers today, Odio and Ahere, has attested to the importance of this ceremony in ESA land. Put your hands together for the glaciers. You are all welcome. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. At this stage, we want to welcome open ceremony of today. Or if there's any person, a highly spirited individual wants to make donation right now of any equipment, you can use this opportunity, and then we'll receive the equipment later in consignment. Thank you very much. Open speeches. They have come here to entertain the audience so that they can showcase the rich cultural heritage of our people. We want to thank the ENC for that. So they want to start now. I'm told they are all the way from Ubiaja City. I want to say that the two glaciers, Odio and Akere, are the sponsors of the Imbabonani dance from Ahia Ubiaja. Put your hands together for them. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a display by Baboneleme Dance from Aya Ubiaja, sponsored by Senator Ojo Ubesia and Honorable Akere Ubesia. Round of applause for them. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a very happy thing, very commendable act on their part, and that is really why I'm here, to give them moral support in appreciation of this very kind gesture. You know, the most serious handicap in our health care delivery system in Nigeria is the shortage of equipment, both for diagnosis and for treatment. So any assistance in redressing these inadequacies in our healthcare delivery system, particularly from private individuals and the private sector, has to be commended and encouraged. So by coming here this afternoon and supporting this kind of action, we hope that other kind-hearted, well-meaning individuals will be encouraged to emulate this example. You're welcome.
You heard what I said? Huh? The response that it's a very laudable gesture. I will thank God for them and pray that God bless them and also bless us, the recipients. Want me to say more? Yes.
Thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
Well, it's what is happening this afternoon is a source of eternal joy to me. And it is a milestone. And they are making history. Our children in America, they are making history today. Because history is very generous to everybody. It depends upon where you want to write your name in history, either on the positive side or on the negative side. And today, they have immortalized their name in the history of Otiwokai Hospital by their invaluable contribution. The magnitude contribution they have made towards the development of the hospital.
What will be your message to them personally?
My message to them is that I will thank them sincerely, and I will pray the Almighty God to continue to protect them and replenish their pocket from which they have brought out this money. And two, they should continue to support. They should continue to support to sustain the tempo of what they have done. Thank you very much.
I would like to know your name, sir.
I'm Barrister Dom Okoje, one-time Commissioner for Information in Edo State.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
What do you feel about this hospital equipment donated by the National Association of Esaland in America?
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I think that is what everyone who have the wherewithal to do a help to help their people. Everybody should get involved and do things like this. I remember a few months ago, our church gave about 4 dialysis machines to these hospitals because I think they are needed. It's unfortunate to say that the federal government may establish a hospital and not being able to equip it, but if we see a need, I think that's a better word. If you see a need, it is good you meet the need. This is just an awesome thing that these people have done to help the lives of the people who live in the rural areas such as Irrua, Ekpoma, Uromi, and the rest of them, so that people can be helped. They can have access to all of these equipment and be helped, and not just die like a chicken every day. I think it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Oh, I want to thank them. I want to say we appreciate them. I want to say that God will help them, and God will grant them favor with big pharmaceutical company and hospital who will be willing to assist in contributing to doing more to these hospitals. I want to bless everyone that have something to do with all of these equipment that was donated today, that God will reward you greatly in the name of the Lord Jesus. Thank you.
I would like to know your name, sir.
My name is Bishop Manik Benosa of Gospel Outreach Ministry in Ekpoma. Thank you.
As well as members of the Hospital Management Committee and other officers here present, the President of ESAN National Congress, USA and Canada, Dr. Sylvester Fadalomusu, and members of the ESAN National Congress, former member of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Akere Ogbesia, the representatives of the chairman of council and other honorable members here present, the DPO, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are here to witness history being made today. During my period as a senator, I had cause to interact with many of our sons from the US and Canada who are here today. Also, during my time as governor, I also had cause to interact with many of them amongst those present here today. In the course of these past years, many of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, particularly in the USA and the UK, have always been discussing with me how they can be of assistance to our people at home in various areas, whether it's in the area of healthcare delivery, water supply, provision of rural electricity, and so forth and so on. Many of those discussions did not go beyond mere expression of interest and expression of intentions. But here today, we are witnesses to not just expression of interest and intention, but actualization of that interest and intention. It is therefore my pleasure to commend the donors, the philanthropists who have, from their own pocket, provided for the hospital or medical equipment that we witnessed their commissioning a short while ago. It is important to bear in mind that perhaps they are not the richest Esan sons that we have abroad. They may not be the richest, but what they have demonstrated by this kind gesture is that they have shown that they, more than any other person, are willing to put their money where their mouth is and to make a sacrifice by providing for the less fortunate members of our community. I say a big thank you to all of you. I know that as individuals, some of them have provided other things before. For instance, I'm sure some of us witnessed the commissioning of borehole by one of them here present sometime last year. I know that some of our people have also provided rural electricity in some other communities across Eastern land. But we know that the medical supplies that are being commissioned today also occupy a very critical segment in our human development aspirations as a people and as a country. Nigeria is blessed with highly qualified medical doctors and medical personnel. What we have been lacking, which have been resulting in needless death of our people, is that there is a paucity, a shortage of diagnostic equipment and other medical equipment and aid. That is why many people live here and go to seek medical attention abroad, which they would have been able to get here if only the medical equipment were present. Many of the doctors that are operating the equipment abroad are Nigerians. Some of them are even your sons and children from here, who are some of the most respected experts in various areas of medicine in other countries. But they are not able to perform here because we don't have this equipment. So, as we commission this today, I want to use this opportunity to call on our sons and daughters abroad, and as the MC Romosele has said, anybody who feels touched, just as, is it Reverend Igbinosun or Igbinosa, who has demonstrated that even those of us here at home can also put in little contributions. So I want to encourage that all of us should think about rendering this kind of service. It remains for me to also join the President of Eastern National Congress to reiterate one of the several appeals that he made to the CMD by saying that we must ensure the safety and security of this equipment. He mentioned that those equipment must be used here, have to be based in this hospital. The fact that it's not government that brought it is not a reason why people should move out this equipment and convert them to their own personal use or translate them into cash for their own pockets. So CMD, I want to join them. I also whispered this to you as we were coming out of the hall, that we must ensure the safety and security of this equipment in order that they will be used for the purpose for which they have been provided. In the course of Mr. President's speech, President of ENC, he mentioned over and over again that these hospitals, these equipment, are meant for the healthcare needs of the people of this area, of Esan people. That definitely is true. You have provided medical or healthcare services closer to the doorsteps of our people. But I want to see it as a gesture, not just to the people of Esan, which is good, but also as a good thing to humanity in general. Because we never can say who is passing along the road who will be involved in an accident. And as the CMD will say, it is here that they will be rushed to. As our people say, anyone Irrua, so it's good to have this thing at home to make provision, because you never know who is going to be saved by it. So this is something that you've been doing, you have done for humanity and for which you will ever be remembered. And also finally, I want to commend the CMD, because in his speech he mentioned the great strides that have been made by this hospital in recent years. I myself, I can see that there are so many new structures that have sprung up in this hospital. As he said, the number of beds have increased tremendously. We are not praying for people to fall sick to come and occupy those beds. But it's in the course of human nature that as the population is growing, also the number of sick people will be increasing. And also because of awareness, more and more people are seeking recourse to hospitals and orthodox medicine. So I want to commend you and the management of this hospital for your efforts in ensuring the development and growth of these hospitals. Because in other places, what you witness is decay and decline. But what we are having here is growth and development. I say congratulations. It remains for me to also call on, to request our elders and royal fathers here to continue to pray for our sons and daughters who have made us very proud today. May God Almighty bless you all.
All other protocols observed. Let me start by thanking our sons and daughters from US who have done us proud today. I want to say that what you guys have done today is unprecedented. Nobody, to my knowledge, has done this before. Is there anybody? CMD, has there been anything like this in this hospital? So to that is, I want to say thank you. What you have done is such a great thing that there are no words. Words are not adequate to describe the joy in my heart, you know, being a witness to this thing today. You know, our health sector has been decayed to some extent, except for the federal institutions that we have around, UBTH, Otiwokai, and maybe a few private hospitals. The state of our medical health in the state hospitals is very, very poor. And I want to use this opportunity to call on the state government to do everything of assembly, a bill on monitoring of maternal mortality. I mean, I'm sure here there are doctors all over the place, and you know that in Nigeria, we have one of the worst cases of maternal mortality. The other day I was reading in the newspapers, I think it's about 1,100 out of every 10,000 beds where you have maternal mortality. 100,000. That is very, very high. We don't need to have our women giving babies dying needlessly. I sponsored that bill, but unfortunately, nothing has been done to give effect to that bill. It calls for setting up of a committee to monitor maternal mortality. Essentially, what that bill envisages is that if there's any death arising from birth within the first 6 months or so, within the birth period of 6 months thereafter, the committee will now go and take a careful look at what happened, talk to the doctor, talk to the nurses, and at the end of the day, they will be able to advise
So that if the doctor made the mistake that led to the death of that woman while delivering, such mistakes can be avoided in the past. They will also visit birth attendants and all that. But unfortunately, that committee was set up while we were there, but now it's moribund and nothing has been done to resuscitate it. I want to use this opportunity to call on the state government to resuscitate that committee so that these needless deaths that we're having from maternal mortality can be drastically reduced. Having said that, I want to thank you once again for gracing this occasion, and to our sons and daughters who have made us proud. But at any point in time, I'm not going to.
I'm Pastor Felix Owako.
So how did you feel about this hospital equipment being donated by the NC?
It's a very great and wonderful gesture demonstrated by these our brothers and sons abroad, which is worthy of emulation. It's a great work. It's sacrificial. That's what we call sacrificial giving. They may not be the richest persons abroad, but they remembered us way back home here. I think my prayer is that God will enrich them and prosper them, both in spirit, soul, and body. In Jesus' name. God bless you.